right, good morning, everyone. I'd like to remind everyone to please make sure that all cell phones are turned to the off or vibrate position. Also, please be advised our city council meetings are broadcast on television, on Comcast Channel 99, and rebroadcast on WMGJ Radio. This meeting of the Gadsden City Council will now come to order. The chair calls on City Clerk Alvin Nelson for the roll call.
Councilwoman Tolles?
Here.
Councilman Williams?
Here.
Worthy?
Here.
Eccles?
Here.
Billingsley?
Here.
Cannon?
Here.
And Reed?
Here.
We have a quorum present and our meeting is open for business. I'm going to ask Councilwoman Tolles to lead the invocation. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Most gracious Father, as we come and approach your throne of grace and mercy, we come praying for our city council meeting as we transact business today. We pray that the meditation of our hearts and that our words will be acceptable to you. We pray for the citizens of Gadsden, and we pray that everything that we say and do be done decent and in order. We just thank you, Heavenly Father, for this day, and as we go forward, we pray that your blessings will be showered on us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the Recreation Committee work session and city council meeting held on June 16th.
So second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to approve minutes.
The chair will entertain a motion to ratify payment of accounts for the week of June 2nd through the 8th.
So move. Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to ratify payment of the accounts.
Proclamations. Unfinished business. Item number 8A is an ordinance amending fiscal year general fund budget. This ordinance was presented last week for first reading. It reflects receipt of a Bureau of Justice Assistance grant and expenditure of the funds related to the purchase of 39 ballistic vests. The amount is $37,050, with the city being responsible for $18,525. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So move. Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the ordinance, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 8B is a resolution appointing members to the Board of Education. This resolution was tabled for 30 days on May 9th. It appoints Zachary Andre Huff for a term expiring in June 2021. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So move. Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Roll call, please.
Okay, clerk?
Okay, roll call vote. Councilwoman Tolles?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Worthy?
Yes.
Eccles? Billingsley?
Yes.
Cannon?
Yes.
And Reed?
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt by unanimous vote.
This is the time and place as advertised to conduct a public hearing, allowing anyone to speak in opposition to or in favor of a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 304 Eugenia Drive in District 7. Ralph J. King and Stephen Concepcion being the last known owners. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, I'm Brian Harbison with the Building Department. This case involves a house that is under renovation and has been for over 2 years. We've, over the last couple of years, we've worked with multiple property owners. There's been no work done to the house in the last 14 months. What you see is what's been done. Last building permit taken out was March of 2015. Today we're asking for a resolution to abate the nuisance. Thank you.
Is that a new construction?
I'm sorry?
looks like
No,
it's
no.
towards a renovation.
No. It's kind of like putting up curtains so you can't see through the windows.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. What is the pleasure of the council?
You move to adopt.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion?
Yes, could we look at, maybe renovating that?
The inside is good. I don't have enough money in my budget. I'd have to come out to council for some, but we will look and give you some idea of how we're going to move on.
Thank you.
All right, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
This is the time and place as advertised to conduct a public hearing, allowing anyone to speak in opposition to or in favor of resolutions assessing nuisance abatement liens against property. This is for demolition that has already been performed, and we have 5 locations to consider. 1112 Springfield Avenue in District 1, $3,016.40. 1403 Stillman Avenue in District 1, $3,741.40. 325 North 9th Street in District 2, $1,991.40. 1306 Stillman Avenue in District 2, $2,291.40. And 708 North 8th Street in District 3, $2,616.40. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to any of these resolutions? Does anyone wish to speak in favor? The chair will entertain a motion to adopt all 5 resolutions.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt all 5 resolutions, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries to adopt all 5 resolutions.
Our final public hearing is a resolution authorizing a special use permit for EcoSite, Inc. This is for construction of a new wireless telecommunication facility located at 128 Ewing Avenue for T-Mobile. It will consist of a 100-foot monopole tower and a 50 by 50-foot lease area. The applicant has requested relief from concealment requirements and setback requirements. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Come on
I'm
up,
not
ma'am.
prepared to speak, I just want to say,
Ma'am, if you would, just give us your name and address, please.
my name is Lori Palmer, my address is 304 Chilton Street. My residence is above where this tower would be located. They did what they considered a balloon test several weeks or months ago. The day that they did the balloon test, it was windy, it was raining, the balloon was not erect. We could not tell how high the tower was going to be, and they said that that would be the proposed minimum height of the tower. So I would ask to at least let the citizens, I spoke with someone here at the city, and they said that that was considered a residential area, and the zoning has declared that residential areas are off limits for cell towers. So I would like for you to at least reconsider before you allow this, and maybe do a better example of where the tower would be so that the residents in the surrounding area can see if it's going to obstruct their view. We have a beautiful view. That's a big hill, and we have a really good view of the river and the bridges, and that tower is going to be in the line of sight of a lot of residents in that area. So I would ask you to at least reconsider before you approve.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. President, would you like for David to come up and speak about that? Give him an opportunity.
Yeah. Does anyone else wish to speak in opposition? Okay. David, would you come up?
Good morning, President, Council, Mayor. My name is David Andrews. I'm the city's consultant for wireless telecommunications. I'm going to pass along the balloon study. You'll notice that the pictures, before and after pictures that I gave you last week, they're actually based off of the balloon study, so you can see the balloon and the weather conditions in the pictures. So they did fulfill the requirements of the city's ordinance as far as doing the balloon. It's possible that the balloon was not visible because you'll see in much of those pictures that it was not visible from areas around due to the height. One thing CMS looks at and takes into account, and we actually recommend approval of this tower because of, is T-Mobile is required to submit propagation data study for the placement of the tower. So in other words, T-Mobile can't just come in and say, hey, we need a tower at this location. They actually have to prove to the city that that tower is needed and required. And they submitted the propagation data study, and it is required for that area for in-building service and capacity. One of the things we also look at is the surrounding area. That is correct. It is on the borderline of a commercial and residential area. But if this tower is required and it was denied, T-Mobile would have to move it either into the residential area, which is at a higher altitude, which aesthetically CMS thinks would not be a good decision, or it would be moved toward the river, which is in the Coosa River District, which is also, towers is not allowed in that district. So therefore, as far as our review is concerned, aesthetically, we think that this is the best location for the tower. It meets the height requirements of the city, and as the pictures show, it's going to be a very short tower, so it is very possible that the tower will be well below the residences up on the hill above it. Or I know it'll be below most of the residences. Now, it could affect one or two of the residences just to the east of it, but it's going to. Our recommendation is it's a good placement for the tower.
David, so you've addressed to some degree a concern about aesthetics. Mrs. Palmer had a concern about the conditions on the day of the balloon test.
The city ordinance requires that certain conditions be met, and we can go back and I can look. I can go back and review and make sure, but they actually have specific conditions that's addressed in the ordinance, and they can only fly the balloon on if those conditions are met. And looking at the pictures and looking at the ordinance, the conditions was met for the ordinance. They actually have to post a secondary date. If conditions are not met in the ordinance, they are required to do it at the secondary date. So as far as CMS, we reviewed the application and they met the conditions of the ordinance as far as the balloon study.
Okay.
David, how tall is it?
It's going to be 100 foot, which is consistent with the city's ordinance. It's the same size tower that was approved down on 12th Street. If you've been by and seen that tower, it'll be the same exact tower that you guys approved on 12th.
Do you know what the relief is from the ground up to the first house? Would impede their sights, what I'm talking about.
It was, no, sir, I do not know that. I know it was 240 something feet to the nearest residence, and that was to the northeast of the tower site. But now that was also up elevation 60 or 70 feet, I believe.
Okay, I can understand where she's coming from. Property values. I've got a 235-foot tower to the right of me. If that thing was in front of me, we'd have a problem.
Yeah.
So it would impede property and the site. Okay.
Can she come up and look at these pictures since she didn't see them? Do you want to come look at these pictures?
Or David can just take them too.
Okay. David, take it to
I don't think it's going to impede it on the field.
This is District 3 that I represent.
I would say that the day that they did the balloon test, it was rainy and it was windy, and when I drove by, the balloon was tied to a fence. The string was tied to the fence, but the balloon was over the road, and it was at probably a 45 to 90 degree angle. So, you know, I'm sure there were times during that day that it might have been better conditions. They didn't come back the next weekend. They did it the first weekend, and It was raining when we got up that day, and I didn't even expect them to do it. And I just by chance rode by just to see if they had, and indeed they were. I had a neighbor that said that she went to speak to the gentleman that was in the truck there, and she said he could not answer any questions. He didn't know anything about it.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak in favor? Is there any additional discussion amongst the council members? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed?
No.
Abstain.
We have, maybe I need to do a roll call vote. Councilman Reed,
Abstain.
Cannon,
Yes.
Billingsley,
Yes.
Eccles, Worthy,
Yes.
Williams,
No.
and Tolles.
Yes.
All righty, it does pass. We have 5 yeses.
Ready.
All right, item number 12 is a resolution authorizing change order number 1 for bid number 3323 for site work, pad, and metal building at Nakalula Falls Park to establish the sanitary sewer connection. The change order amount is $2,004.60, thereby adjusting the total contract with Complete Construction LLC to $147,780.60. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries to adopt.
Item number 13 is a resolution authorizing change order number 1 for bid number 3327 to repair additional Pioneer Village structures in Nakalula Falls Park. The amount is $13,930.77, thereby adjusting the total contract with Hudak Construction to $420,280.77. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries to adopt.
Item number 14 is a resolution approving a second taxi cab permit for Love's Taxi Service. Taylor Christina Latrice Cox, doing business as Love's Taxi Service, has applied for a second permit and met all of the requirements. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So move.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries to adopt.
Item number 15 is a resolution reappointing members to the Zoning Board of Adjustments. This reappoints John Freeman and David Freeman in District 4 and 7 respectively for terms expiring May 18th, 2020. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt these resolutions.
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries to adopt.
Item number 16 is the resolution accepting conveyance of property at 917 and 919 Plum Street. The administrator of the estate of Adrian J. McCoy has offered the property to the city in order to close the estate. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries to adopt.
Item number 17 is a resolution accepting conveyance of property at 1515 Roosevelt Avenue. The owner has offered to donate the property to the city in lieu of nuisance abatement proceedings. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries to adopt.
Item number 18 is a resolution accepting conveyance of property at 217 Springdale Road. The owner has offered to donate the property to the city. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 19 is a resolution authorizing agreement to purchase property at 450 Keeling Alley. Councilman Worthy wishes to purchase the property in order to create a municipal entertainment venue. This authorizes a purchase price not to exceed $39,500. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion?
Can we have a roll call vote on this, please?
Roll call vote. Clerk, will you take the vote?
All right, Councilwoman Toles,
No.
Williams,
No.
Worthy,
Yes.
Eccles, Billingsley,
No.
Cannon,
No.
Reed.
No.
The motion fails to be carried.
Item number 20 is a resolution authorizing receipt of donation and approving award to Police Department Employee and Officer of the Year. The VFW Wilson Paris Post 8600 and the VFW District 2 have donated $100 each to the city for recognition of the VFW Officer of the Year. Local and district award to Brandon T. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
I move to adopt.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 21 is being presented today for first reading. It's an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2017 general fund budget. This is to reflect receipt and appropriation of donations totaling $200 for Police Officer of the Year award. This ordinance has been presented today for first reading, and the council will vote on it next week.
Mr. President, since we have so many people here today, which I'm happy to say, this is what we need to have every week. I don't think this is the biggest crowd we've ever had. We had one bigger some time back when all the employees were ready to get rid of old Bob. Well, old Bob's still here, but and we're friends. We have a meeting upstairs prior, an hour prior to this meeting down here. It looks like all we do is just say, okay, 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 or don't talk about any of these. The talk is upstairs. We look at it one week upstairs. It goes on the agenda the next week. We have a week to go out and look and see if we need to say anything or do anything. So we're not just okaying everything that's on the agenda because we haven't looked at it to see what it is. That's all I just wanted to do. We got such a nice crowd this morning that,
I'd like to suspend the rules and go ahead and give the police officer the money that's designated him for the award.
Second.
Okay, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the ordinance today at its first reading, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, unanimous consent has been granted.
I move for adoption.
second.
Okay, is there any additional discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the ordinance, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
New business, is there any new business? Department reports, committees, boards? I think we were gonna allow David Lawson, you wanna come up and talk about Juneteenth?
Good morning, everyone. As I mentioned last Tuesday, we are in the middle of the annual Juneteenth celebration that started last Saturday with what we call the Miss Juneteenth pageant. and that was at the Carver Community Center. And this Saturday, we will return to the Carver campus to have the main Juneteenth celebration. That will be this Saturday, and we will begin with the parade. The Motor Parade will begin at 4th Street in Tuscaloosa, and it will work its way to the main Carver campus. That'll start at 12, and we do have great support from several different organizations. The Juneteenth is being co-sponsored by Ms. Carolyn Parker, Commissioner with Etowah County, CED Mental Health, Etowah County EMA, the Etowah County Sheriff's Office, the Etowah Gadsden Chamber of Commerce, Gadsden Fire Department, the Gadsden Mall, and Quality of Life Health Services. So we are very thankful to all of these organizations who have increasingly been participating and helping WMGJ with the annual Juneteenth. And as I stated last week, we are more than happy and will be very honored to have our council members there as well this Saturday. Thank you.
All right, thank you, David. We have one citizen's request. Ms. May Stacy, if you would. Ms. Stacy, if you would give us your name and address, please.
May Stacy, 221 Alpine View. Good morning. My name is May Stacy, and I'm the current president of Gadsden, SGA president of Gadsden City High School. I've lived in Gadsden my whole life, and I love calling it home. There's been a lot of talk regarding education among the adults in our community and a push for big changes in our school system. We do not feel like the community has heard from the students, so here we are. Due to the rules for these meetings, only one of us may speak, but here I have with me two of my friends, Demiah Wright and Zemiah Blunt. We are SGA officers at Gadsden City High School. The three of us have served and worked together since student council elections in 6th grade at Gadsden Middle School. We're going on 6 years. We are each involved in different activities, programs, and classes at school, but we have always worked together as a team. Gadsden City has provided each of us with opportunities to grow and develop into who we are. I think that it is important to realize what our school has been able to achieve in just 11 years. Now, by no means is it perfect. It is a work in progress, but it is certainly not a mistake. Our school offers more programs than any other school in our area, and we need all of these programs. AP, dual enrollment, career tech, health sciences, co-op, Fine Arts Academy, a phenomenal band, any sport you can think of. Please do not take away any of these programs. In saying that, let me add, AP students desperately need their teachers. From personal experience, I can say that AP courses are extremely challenging. I could never survive without my teachers patiently helping me process material that prepares me for college and getting me ready for the AP exams. We have teachers who encourage us to try new things and get out of our comfort zone. For example, our theater department performed a play this spring involving 115 students. This was a first-time experience for lots of the cast who, without the encouragement of this teacher, would have never participated. But the teachers in our system do not just service the high achievers. They fight for and believe in all students. I saw that at Gadsden Middle, and I see that now at Gadsden City. Some of the experiences our school provides are not academic, which, as you know, is a very important aspect to a healthy high school experience. For example, we all work together as a class each year to design and build a homecoming float. It is one of my favorite things to see parents and students from all areas of our school district all working together to create something that we're all proud of. Our Titan Ambassador program places Gadsden City students at events throughout the community like a Walk Through Time, Patriots Luncheon, Council on Aging, and Quality of Life events. As an ambassador, I've had the opportunity to interact with a variety of celebrated people in our community. Through SGA, I've had the pleasure of working closely with our administration and faculty. These men and women who help run our school are impressive. They are dedicated, approachable, and they know all 1,500 of us. There's a sense of family that lingers among the students and faculty. In this, we enjoy celebrating and supporting each other's accomplishments. Gadsden City students travel to watch our football team play, and these two girls dance on Friday nights in Huntsville or Birmingham. A huge number of students have always traveled to the regional playoff tournament at JSU to support our basketball team. We attend school dances like coronation and prom together. All of the opportunities Gadsden City Schools has provided us make up the experience that are shaping my life and the life of other Gadsden City students. It is personal for each of us. Some adults are painting a negative picture of our school, which makes it seem like a negative picture of us, and that is just not an accurate picture. State Board of Education member President Pro Tem Mary Scott Hunter says she holds our system up as a model for other districts because of our one great high school. I hope I've been able to convey what our large, strong, diverse 7A high school provides for its students. Together we are stronger, and we respect the similarities and differences of our classmates. Thank you for allowing our voice to be heard. I hope you will consider us when you are asked to vote on major changes regarding us, all 1,500 of us, from every corner of this city of champions. Thank you for your time.
Outstanding job, Ms. Stacy. Outstanding job. Very good job.
How about introducing the other two girls?
I think she did. She did.
Did you? That's hard to hear.
And of course, I see Mrs. Wright's parents over there. Raise your hands. They're both friends of mine and members of my church, and we're proud of all of them. I think it goes without saying, but proud of all of our students for sure. Councilman Worthy requested that his board appointee be allowed to come up and speak. If we have no objection, we'll use this time to allow him to come up.
Good.
Well, why don't you just take a vote? Let her take a vote.
Okay, roll call vote.
We're going back to rules of procedure.
We're there.
We've been to break the rules of procedure again.
Okay, this is a motion to allow the speaker that's not on the agenda. Councilman Reed?
Yes.
Worthy? I'm
Yes.
sorry. I skipped around, didn't I? Cannon?
Yes.
Billingsley?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Worthy?
Yes.
Eccles?
Yes.
And Tolles?
Yes.
All righty.
Okay.
We did receive unanimous consent.
Okay, come on up, Mr. Huff.
Good morning, President Williams, and in the absence of the mayor and to all the councilmen. I thank you for an opportunity to stand and address you. First of all, I want to say thank you to Councilman Worthy for thinking that we're having confidence in me to be able to go on the school board and do what's best for our school system. I thank the councilmen for the way you voted this time. I wasn't too proud of last time. Matter of fact, I am the fourth son out of 6 boys of retired pastor F.L. Huff and Katie Huff. I pastor now at Mount Zion Baptist Church. I've been pastoring for over 20-some years. And I have a few of my members here, my relatives here. I have my lovely wife, Jennifer Huff, she's here. And I have 2 out of 5 children here. Zoe, stand Zoe. Now, remain standing, Zoe. I want to say something about her. On May 9th, Zoe wanted to be here to see me get appointed. And so we told her, no, you gotta go to school, baby. And so when her mom picked her up, she said, well, Mom, what happened? She said, well, they postponed it for 30 days. And she said to her mama, she said, well, just basically, they wasted our time. So she came today to make sure that but y'all weren't gonna waste no more of our time. You may be seated. Amen. I want to say this. I've heard so many fabrication that is made up, so many things that have been said about the reason why I'm appointed and why I'm going to be appointed during this time. And I've heard so many negative things said about Councilman Worthy for doing this, as well as myself. Let me say this. I say this to my members. Anybody want to know anything about me, ask me. Nobody know me better than me. I'm no Clark Kent by far, neither am I Bruce Wayne. So I'm not going to be able to go and be the hero of whatever has taken place. Whatever's taken place have taken place. There's nothing I can do about that. But one thing, in being in the last board meeting, school board meeting, I had an opportunity to see some things, and I saw like two different sides. But the voice that was being ignored was the voice of Miss Stacy and the Wrights and my children and all the kids that make up Gadsden City School. And I want to be that voice on the school board, listening to what the kids need and what the kids want. And that's what I'm going to do when I'm placed on the board, is be the voice of our children. Thank you very much.
Remarks by the council. Councilman Reed.
Yes, May Stacy, I think, said it best. I don't have anything to add to it because I think it was words well spent. And Andre, I've always held you in high esteem. I served with your daddy, and I'm looking forward to you being on that board. That's all I have.
Okay. Councilman Cannon.
I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank everybody that's here today. It's a full house. I'm looking to see every one of y'all back next Tuesday. So I guess y'all all coming back, correct? Okay. You can bring some more people with you. We'd all be tickled to death if we had lined up against the wall. I do want to tell Mr. Tuff, I appreciate you going on that board and trying to serve. I appreciate that. Appreciate what you said about the kids, the children down there. That's what it's all about. You're going on at a difficult time there. And I guess everybody here is just putting their faith and confidence in you right now as a person, you know, to do the right thing for the children. That's all we got.
Councilman Billingsley.
Okay.
Councilman Worthy.
Oh, yes, first of all, I'd like to say thank you to Reverend Huff for accepting this nomination at this very difficult time. And I'm sorry for what you were going through with all the rumors and all of that. But I know you can handle it. I wouldn't have appointed you, nominated you. And I see my wife out there, and I want to say thank you for supporting me. Charlotte Worthy, raise your hand. I normally don't do this, but I am. And to Ms. Jedine, thank you also for supporting me. They helped me campaign, and when we walked through the neighborhoods, we told people that I was going to tell you the truth. If you asked me if I could help you, I would tell you I could help you. If I couldn't help you, I was going to tell you that. Now, you may not like it, but you got to respect that, and that's the way I am. And I know Mr. Huff is going to be the same way on the Board of Education, because it boils down to our kids. You know, we're talking about different models and all that. I think we have a great model there at Ewell Brown. That's one of the best elementary schools in the state, or not just the state, but the nation. Why we can't send our elementary school principals down there and teachers to see what they're doing at Ewell Brown, and we emulate what they're doing. And then for Head Start, we got one of the best Head Start programs right there off of Tuscaloosa Avenue. Let's send our K3, K4 teachers down there and principals. Let's see what they're doing and emulate what they're doing. Because we don't have to go outside of the city. You know, and I know a lot of people say, well, it's parents' involvement. Yes, if that's the case, we need to get our parents involved. Because it's about our kids. And as far as I'm concerned, education starts at home. You know, you can't blame it. See, my wife is educated, Ms. Jedine is educated, several retired educators out here in the audience. And I want to say thank you, because I know it's a hard job. Just like being a police officer, it's a hard job. But, you know, we do it because we want to serve. It's not about us. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the job fair. We're going to switch gears. The job fair, the regional job fair, will be on Tuesday, June the 27th at 2:10 at the tracks. And if you want to register for the job fair, and if you don't have a laptop or access to one, you can go to the Career Center on 5th Street and they register you. You register at labor.alabama.gov/job fair. And that's for the employers and the potential employees. And also, we will have the Career Center will be putting on a job readiness workshop on June the 21st, June the 22nd, or June the 23rd from 12 to 4 p.m. at the Career Center. That will give you a leg up. Once you finish this 4-hour block, they'll give you a certificate, and you can present that to the employers at the job fair. And I also want to make an announcement of my community meeting. Will be this Thursday at Thompson from 5:30 to 6:30. So please attend. So I also want to, I see someone else in the audience that I want to say something about. He plays golf all the time. Mr. West, so please stand up. This man is a little over 80 years old, and he's a hoop to play with. All right, thank you so much.
All right, Mr. Eccles.
I also served with Reverend Father. He was a great gentleman, and I think we've got a good appointee to the board. And all of you coming has a lot to do with knowing how government works. The problem is really not a council problem. It's the Board of Education problem. Of course, we put them on, so we have to take some of the blame. But if you just take the time to know somebody and not judge them by what you see on television in the news every week, you'll find that that's only a small percentage. The rest of them, probably 90% of them, are good people. So we can work together if we will just do it. So keep coming. We like to see your smiling faces every week. Thank you.
Mr. Eccles. Councilwoman Tullis.
Yes, I have a district meeting on June the 26th, 6 p.m. The guest will be the city engineer, Heath Williamson, and he's going to talk about I-759. That's at June 26th, 6 p.m. Antioch Family Life Center.
All right, good morning once again, everybody. Did want to take the opportunity, I guess I'm taking a page out of the mayor's book, to both, one, recognize an editorial piece that he wrote for the Times. There's some copies circulating amongst the council members. I thought it was well written, and I do applaud our mayor for showing some level of leadership. He spoke about cohesiveness, collaboration, and unity within our city. And I think it echoes the sentiment that was shared by Ms. Stacy today. And I do appreciate you. Were very articulate. You represented your school, your teachers, everybody that has had a hand in raising you. You represented them well. So we do appreciate that. I want to also, before I get into this, I do want to recognize Reverend Huff as well. Andre Huff, he's He's a longtime friend of mine, and I hold that family in the highest regard. And I'll echo the sentiment of the balance of the council. We're excited about you becoming a member of the Board of Education, and I have no doubt that you're going to do an outstanding job. So we do appreciate that. I want to address three things, okay? And I just think it's time, and I won't belabor this, but I want to address three things. The first thing is race. The second thing is the school district's performance and the data that's out there. And then our community. All right, so those are the three things: race, our school district, and our community. Very difficult to say, so bear with me. But there is a nexus to race on both sides of this discussion. Not many of us want to say that, but there is, and I've several times from my seat have said, no, this is not about race. And it's not completely about race. It's not. But there definitely is a nexus to race relative to this school board discussion. Many are taking steps towards posturing to avoid race, but the reality is that it's at least a partial motivator for many people. It's why certain areas of the city are represented more so than others. It's why this room is packed right now. There's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of sentiment. And again, I don't think it's all race, but I do believe that it's partially about race. The reality is, folks, that we reside in a mid-sized city within the state of Alabama. Race somehow manages to find its way into every discussion. And it probably always will. And that's the unfortunate thing. That's so unfortunate. You know, I applaud Miss Stacy and what she and Mrs. Wright and what was the other young lady's name? Mrs. Blunt. You know, I'm going to throw out, we really shouldn't be throwing out names from here, but I'm going to throw out some names of folks that I've been longtime friends with, and they've eaten at my house, I've eaten at theirs, and we continue to be friends. One of the saddest days of my life was my high school graduation. Why? Because I left behind the Tyler Slocums, the Mike Edmondsons, the Stacy Parkers, the Gina Densons, and all of those folks that were my dear friends and continue to be my dear friends. I left those folks behind. And I didn't know what was out in front of me, but I knew those friends were behind me. I knew those folks were right there behind me, and they continue to be my friends. And the thing you have to remember is that Alabama politics exists as probably one of the most racist subcultures that we have to manage as a society. Not really fun to say that, but it's the truth. It's the truth, and you know, you really don't have to agree with me there, but it's you know, I've been in politics now my second term. Alabama politics, again, is probably one of the most racist subcultures that we have to manage as a community and as a society. And it's very difficult to say that because I've lived nowhere else except for the state of Alabama, and it's almost embarrassing to have to say it, but it's the truth. So that's all I'm going to say about race. I'm done with that. But that's the reality of where I sit in my position as it relates to race. And again, as I look across this room, I see people that are passionate about a lot of things. I see good people. I see people who have contributed to this community being great. But the reality is that what's burrowing under the surface is this whole issue of race. Our school district. One of the most unfortunate things about this debate is that it has somehow evolved into a referendum for or against, and I'm going to use the name again, Dr. Ed Miller. And I think that's so unfortunate. My experiences with Dr. Miller have been nothing less than professional. Now, whether you're for him remaining or not, I think it's unfortunate that this whole thing has evolved into a referendum for or against him. I really do. I think that's unfair to him. The focus really should be on the education outcome for our students, and many have said that. And I think everybody with some sense is going to say that, because that's where the focus should be. That's where the focus should be. But folks, another difficult thing for us to digest and absorb is this. There is a blind spot towards the education needs of the socioeconomically disadvantaged. I think many people have a blind spot to how the model impacts them and really don't understand. We've got so many elements of success within our system. Ms. Stacy highlighted a number of them, and there's so many of them. And when we have so many elements of success within our system. But when you look at that data, and it's real data, now you don't have to like the ACT Aspire because I don't. I despise it. But as a black male, I despise all standardized tests because they don't really help me. I can remember watching an episode of Good Times in the 70s. I'm dating myself, I'm sure, when Michael came home and was frustrated because here he is, a straight A student, but he's struggling with standardized tests because he doesn't know the difference between a media room and a den. Because he lives in an apartment in Cabria Green in Chicago, and he doesn't have a den. He's got one room. But again, that's a side note. That's a rabbit trail that we can go down another day. The reality is that if you're going to accept the top 10 schools as it relates to that data, if you're going to accept that Mountain Brook, Spain Park, Madison, Shelby County, even Hoover, many argue that Hoover's at number 10 on the list, but they argue that Hoover is there because of their Hispanic population. But if you're going to accept the data at the top of that spectrum, you got to accept it at the bottom of the spectrum. So what data does for us is it gives us an objective starting point. Takes all the emotion out. It gives us an objective starting point, and you action plan against that data. And if you change that test tomorrow and put in ABC test, I can assure you that unless the methods change for those children that are coming to school hungry and going home hungry, I mean, even Dr. Miller himself, who stepped up very proudly and said, Deverick, your poverty initiative, I want in, because I got a lot of kids that are struggling. They're coming to school hungry, and he said they're eating every meal I offer them. That's what Dr. Ed Miller said. He said they're eating every meal I offer them. And it was well documented in the Gadsden Times. It's a very, very difficult thing to manage, developing a model that addresses these kids because of what Councilman Worthy was just talking about, that parent involvement. When you've got a parent that's working second shift, sometimes working 2 jobs, who probably already doesn't have the intellectual capacity to address some of those homework needs, I'm worthless when it comes to my kids' homework. And I have been for a long time. But the reality is that that's even worse when you're hungry and you're poor. And so all I ask going forward is not that we scrap what's working, because there's a lot of stuff that's working at our schools. And yes, my children, both of them, well, both my daughters anyway, attended Ura Brown Elementary School. I will put Ura Brown Elementary School up against any school in this country. And a lot of that has to do with 2 things, at least based on my experience. One, the principal and educators in that school are devoted and dedicated, and they get it done. But not only that, the parents hold them accountable. When you attend awards day at Ura Brown, you better get there early, or else you're gonna have to stand outside and watch it. That's what we need at every school. I don't know how we get there. I wish I did know. I don't know how we get there, but that's what we have to have. And that's the kind of drive and the kind of model that we need. We, unfortunately, we've got a great opportunity to address the needs of a large contingency of socioeconomically disadvantaged children within our school district. That's a great opportunity for whomever is at the helm. And personally, I believe superintendents should manage the school. Because when you start dealing with school boards, you get all manner of backgrounds. Just like with this council, you get all manner of backgrounds. You don't want those folks making all of the decisions because they don't really know what they're doing all of the time. The last thing is our community. Listen, the thing that has kept me up at night is the whole issue of our community being split over this. I mean, let's just stop it. I think that's what the mayor was trying to do with his editorial. He couldn't be here today, but let's just stop it. We're not going to agree. People are going to walk away from my comments and not agree with half of what I said, or even all of it. But folks, let's learn to agree to disagree, love each other as Christ has asked us to do, and move on, regardless of color, regardless of race, regardless of socioeconomic status. Let's move on. Let's be the proud community that I think all of us want to be. Let's be the progressive community that we need to be. And that starts with our education system. We can't talk about being like Huntsville. We've got to be like Huntsville. We can't talk about being like the Hoover school systems or the Hoover school district. We got to do it. We got to go out and perform. And I think we can do that as a community. And if we do that, if we work together, we can live out our full potential. And again, I want to, as I close, I want to echo what just about every councilman up here has said today. It is heartwarming to see so many people attending the meetings. You know, I love Ed and I love Mr. Porch, but I get so tired of looking at them only. It's just refreshing to see so many different people. As a matter of practice, please just come out and support the council meetings. I can assure you, we want you here. We want to do business in front of a crowd because that holds us accountable. Thank you, and I apologize if I've been long, but thank you for hearing me, and thank you for the time.
I would be, after he got up there and was talking about food, I would be remiss not to acknowledge one of the best cooks in this city, Miss Mary Rowe. I've eaten at her house plenty of times, and Lord knows she can cook. Please just wave. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, if there's nothing else, I entertain a motion that we adjourn.